Picture a man standing in absolute stillness. Around him, the world is collapsing. Rumors swirl like ash in the wind. Betrayal cuts through the air. Failure crashes at his feet like thunder. People point, whisper, condemn. Yet he does not flinch. He does not defend. He does not crumble. His face remains calm, his breathing steady, his gaze forward. This is not coldness. This is not apathy. This is mastery. This is the result of one singular Stoic habit that has made him untouchable. It is the habit of inner separation. The ability to stand in the eye of the storm and control not the wind, but himself. To watch the chaos unfold and remain anchored to something deeper, something unshakable. While others are pulled apart by circumstance, he holds the center. And that center is impenetrable. The world will tell you that strength is loud. That power means domination. That being untouchable requires armor forged from aggression, from pride, from walls built so high no one can reach you. But the Stoics knew better. True strength is silent. It does not announce itself. It does not flex. It simply is. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor who ruled Rome and commanded legions, understood this truth better than most. He called it fortifying the citadel within, the fortress that no enemy can breach because it exists in a place beyond their reach. It is the fortress of your own mind, your inner world. The Stoic does not waste energy fighting every insult or chasing every fleeting victory. He draws an invisible line between two territories. On one side, what he can control, his thoughts, his reactions, his choices, his character. On the other side, everything else. The opinions of others, the outcomes of his efforts, the cruelty of fate, the chaos of the world. And here's the secret. He gives his attention only to what lies within his power. Everything beyond that line belongs to the universe, and he lets it go. Most men live the opposite way. They hand over their peace to anyone willing to take it. A stranger's comment ruins their day. A rejection shatters their confidence. A setback feels like the end. They are puppets, and the world pulls every string. Their emotional state is determined by external conditions, by things they cannot control. So they live in constant reaction, defending, attacking, spiraling, exhausted. The Stoic reverses this. He reclaims his sovereignty by mastering the one territory that truly belongs to him. His inner life. His attention. His emotional response. He does not give others permission to disturb his peace. He does not allow circumstances to dictate his worth. He learns to stand firm in himself, regardless of what unfolds around him. And that is why nothing touches him. Not failure, not rejection, not betrayal, not even death. Because his power does not come from outside. It comes from within. Marcus Aurelius wrote these words in his personal journal, never intending them for anyone else to read. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the foundation. This is the cornerstone of the Stoic life. The realization that freedom is not found in changing the world, but in changing your relationship to it. When you understand this, when you truly internalize it, everything shifts. The storms still come. The losses still hurt. The challenges still test you. But your center holds. You become like stone in a river. The water rushes over you, powerful and relentless. But you remain unmoved. Not because you are numb, but because you have learned where your true power lies. This habit of mental separation transforms a man into something unbreakable. When others panic, he breathes. When others lash out, he observes. When others collapse into complaint and despair, he adapts. He does not suppress his emotions. He does not pretend pain does not exist. He simply refuses to be ruled by it. He sees emotion as information, not instruction. He feels anger, but does not become it. He experiences disappointment, but does not drown in it. He acknowledges fear, but does not obey it. His peace is no longer conditional. It is not something granted by favorable circumstances and revoked when life turns hard. It is self-generated, built, earned, guarded, and that makes him dangerous in the best possible way. Dangerous to chaos, dangerous to manipulation, dangerous to anything that seeks to pull him off course. Imagine him now. The same man, months or years into this practice, he walks through life differently. The betrayals still happen. The criticism still lands. The losses still sting. But something has changed. His reactions have slowed. Where once there was instant anger, now there is pause. Where once there was desperate need for validation, now there is quiet self-assurance. Where once there was fragile ego, now there is calm strength. He has become the master of his inner world, and in doing so, he has become free. His calm is his armor. His discipline is his weapon. He does not need to prove himself to anyone because his worth is not up for debate. It is not determined by applause or condemnation. It simply is, and that certainty radiates from him. People sense it, even if they cannot name it. There is something about a man who cannot be shaken. Something magnetic. Something rare. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who was once a slave before becoming one of the wisest teachers in history, understood this principle completely. He taught that we do not suffer from the events that happen to us. We suffer from our judgments about them. A man is not destroyed by losing his job. He is destroyed by believing that his identity was tied to that job. A man is not broken by rejection. He is broken by believing that rejection defines his value. The event itself is neutral. It is the story we tell ourselves about the event that creates suffering. The Stoic learns to question those stories, to examine them, to dismantle the ones built on ego, fear, and illusion. He learns to pause before reacting, to observe before speaking, to think before judging. This is not hesitation. This is wisdom. This habit, practiced daily, is what separates the weak from the wise. It is what allows a man to remain standing when others fall apart. So how does one build this habit? How does a man become untouchable? It begins with daily reflection. The Stoics practiced this religiously. Each morning they prepared their minds for the day ahead. They reminded themselves that they would encounter difficult people, unexpected challenges, betrayals, losses. Not to become cynical, but to become prepared. To strip away the illusion that life owes them ease. Each evening they reviewed their day. They asked themselves hard questions. Where did I lose control? Where did I react from ego instead of reason? Where did I give my power away? This practice builds self-awareness. It sharpens the ability to catch yourself in the moment before reaction becomes action. And over time, it creates space. The space between stimulus and response. The space where freedom lives. It also requires detachment from outcomes. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop tying your peace to results you cannot control. You do your best. You act with integrity. You give full effort. But you release your grip on the outcome. You understand that you can control your preparation, but not the result. You can control your intentions, but not how others receive them. You can control your work, but not whether it is recognized. This detachment is not apathy. It is liberation. It allows you to move through life with full commitment, but without desperation. Without the crushing weight of needing things to go a certain way, you become free to act boldly, because failure no longer terrifies you. You have already accepted that the outcome is not yours to control. Your only job is to play your part with excellence. And then there is the constant vigilance over your inner dialogue. The Stoic understands that the voice in his head can be his greatest ally or his worst enemy. He learns to become the guardian of his own mind. He does not allow destructive thoughts to run unchecked. When the voice whispers that he is not enough, he questions it. When it screams that the world is against him, he examines the evidence. When it spirals into catastrophe, he brings it back to the present moment. This is not toxic positivity. This is not denial. This is rational self-governance. It is the refusal to let fear, ego, and illusion dictate the terms of his inner life. He becomes the author of his own narrative rather than a passive consumer of whatever story his mind wants to tell. Being untouchable does not mean avoiding the world. It does not mean retreating into isolation or numbing yourself to connection. It means mastering yourself so completely that the world loses its power to destabilize you. You can love deeply without becoming dependent. You can fail publicly without losing your sense of self. You can be criticized without crumbling. You can be praised without becoming arrogant. You walk through life with your hand open, not closed. You engage fully, but you do not cling. You care, but you do not collapse. You remain sovereign over the one domain that truly matters, your own soul. The Stoic does not seek to escape life. He seeks to rise above it, not in arrogance, not in superiority, but in mastery. To walk through fire without burning, to face chaos without trembling, to love without attachment, and to lose without breaking. This is the habit that makes a man untouchable. It is not something you are born with. It is something you build, brick by brick, breath by breath, moment by moment, through discipline, through reflection, through the quiet, relentless work of fortifying your inner citadel. And when the world comes for you as it will, you will stand. Not because you are stronger than the storm, but because you have learned that the storm was never the threat. The only thing that could ever destroy you was your reaction to it. And you have mastered that. So let them come. Let the rumors spread. Let the betrayals unfold. Let the failures arrive. You are already standing in the only place that matters, within yourself. Calm, anchored, untouchable. Not through pride, but through wisdom. Not through coldness, but through control. Not through avoidance, but through acceptance. This is the way of the Stoic. This is the habit that sets you free.